front pages of the papers. The Nation. DSS brokered truce ends Nupeng strike threat. Oh, that's good. Refinery workers free to join unions. Panic buying of petrol in Akure, Abakaliki. And we have 47 students get 47 million naira laptops. International news here. Protesters set fire to Parliament building. Then uproar over Israeli strikes in Qatar. Encomiums for Doyin Abiola at Night of Tributes. We have FIRS, EFCC partner to enforce tax compliance. NIWA digs deep to curb boat accidents. No life jacket, no boarding. IBAS, I saved 5 billion naira from river staff verification. And no plan to implement 5% petroleum tax yet, says Edo. And at the bottom strip, we've got President directs urgent action on power crisis in hospitals. Who wants to start first?
So I think he's rounding up and giving a complete review of his performance as the sole administrator of Rivers State. So he was at the 2025 Civil Service Week celebration at the Dr. Obiwali International Conference Center, and he announced that for the August salary bill, he was able to save 5 billion naira from what he had done through the verification of civil servants. So he said the verification successfully identified and removed non-existent staff and imposters from the government payroll. And just by that singular act, he was able to save what would have gone to them. So those people who will make 5 billion from government. But he was able to save that amount, and he says the money will be channeled into critical developmental projects and programs designed to benefit the people more. Okay. I commend him. Yes, that's and I hope that when he leaves office, that the governor, when he takes over, would also review things so that we're sure that we're not.
Okay. So the major headline said the strike threats by unions, which would have thrown the oil sector into turmoil yesterday, fizzled out following a truce brokered by the Directorate of State Services, DSS. We know that Nupeng and Dangote have their meeting did not hold any water at the end of the day because Nupeng insisted that all the drivers that would be employed for the new CNG buses would have to join the union. Okay. Dangote said, no, it's not possible. It has to be, optional. It shouldn't be by force. But they had a meeting Monday night by the Federal Ministry of Labour and Employment. It lasted till early hours of yesterday. It ended in a stalemate. They had no headway until yesterday, that was Tuesday. A meeting was convened by DSS. It was attended by government officials and labor leaders, which ended the strike at the end of the day. Dangote finally conceded and said, okay, no problem. They are allowed to join Nupeng. So they've sent messages across the nation to say that, okay, we're not going on strike anymore. But they are giving them, I think, 2 weeks from 9th to 22nd to finish registering all the members of Dangote company into Nupeng. After that is done, they have made a promise. There's a memorandum that was signed, and they've made a promise that they will not set up any other association or union in Dangote's company aside from being a part of Nupeng. That the workers cannot set another union. Yes, it just has to be Nupeng. So at least we don't have strike right now. Trucks are back to taking fuel to the different filling stations. Let's just see how this would go.
Yes. So the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, and the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, have renewed their commitment to deepen collaboration in a bid to strengthen Nigeria's tax compliance framework and boost public revenue. This was discussed and noted by the Executive Chairman of FIRS, Dr. Zach Adedeji, who said that the need for interagency cooperation to maintain financial stability and build public trust in the nation's tax system is imperative. He also stated that there's no way they can chase over 200 million citizens, Nigerians individually, to pay their taxes or to comply, but that they want Nigerians to know that if you don't do the right thing, that there's a place that they can keep you. He also stated that he understands the effective driver of voluntary compliance was visible evidence of how tax revenues were being used, adding that when taxpayers see government investments in infrastructure, healthcare and education funded by taxes, they are more inclined and they are more inclined to comply willingly. So he stated that we should also remember, because he drew the attention that to the recent Court of Appeal judgment affirming the EFCC's authority to investigate tax-related fraud. So that this collaboration is very key, that when they see that EFCC beside FIRS is part of investigating tax-related fraud, that it will send a signal to the public that this is no longer business as usual. So,
okay. Let's go to the next paper, The Punch. Major headline, doctors to decide on nationwide strike today. PDP stands protest as Senate blocks Natasha's return. 5 soldiers, terrorists feared killed in Zamfara clash. Osun kingmakers reject move to dethrone jailed monarch. Vehicle theft, 3 Nigerians jailed 96 years. 3 Nigerians jailed 96 years in Ghana. South Africa dents Eagles World Cup hopes after stalemate. We've got Nupeng suspend strike as Dangote accepts union demands. 31 states domestic debt hits 2.57 trillion naira. 2027 presidency, Jonathan splits South-South PDP. And finally, no immediate plan to implement fuel surcharge, says federal government.
Yeah, so the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, revealed yesterday that the federal government has no immediate plan to implement a 5% surcharge on petrol. We had received the news earlier. So he specifically addressed reporters on the issue in Abuja, and he stated that the government's priority at the moment was to make the new tax regime beneficial to the general public. He added that the Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration was fully aware of the economic challenges faced by Nigerians and will not take decisions that could further increase their burden. He says, we will not worsen the burden on Nigerians. As of today, no order has been issued, none is being prepared, and there's no plan to immediate, take it out to implement any surcharge, no plan at all. He says that the inclusion of the surcharge in the recently enacted Nigerian Tax Administration Act does not translate into an automatic introduction of the new levies, and according to him, a formal process must be followed before such a measure can take effect. His words, there's even a process before any surcharge can come into any effect. It requires a commencement order from the Honorable Minister of Finance, and this indeed must be published in a gazette. So it's not automatic. We will not wake up January 1st and there's a new tax, and there's not going to be any form of levy. There's a whole process involved, and they are not doing that now. So that's the news.
Okay, let's go on a short break. When we come back, we'll continue with the paper review. Thank you for staying with us. We're still reviewing the front pages of the papers, and we're still on Punch.
So let me do the Osun story. So remember that king, the Akpetumodu of Ikpetumodu in Osun, the one that was sentenced to 4 years in prison for COVID fraud in the US.
Yes.
And has paid $4.4 million in restitution. This one that the case have settled. Okay. Even him have admitted, because when you do plea bargain like that, it means that you are accepting. Now they are fighting in his community. The kingmaker, one as the Asalu of Ikpetumodu, is the chief kingmaker, and he was sitting over a deliberation on what to do going forward. So a prince now moved motion that right to the governor that is to list vacant, because now he's serving 4-year term, and so we cannot even just the embarrassment of the corruption conviction is enough. The Ashadu said, Laila, I'm not doing. Instead of that, I'm resigning as kingmaker. Already they have 2 kingmakers to vacant, because 2 people were kingmakers who had passed that they had not filled. They were just voting to fill that. Now this one say, me if I join, I remove myself. I don't want any problem. Myself. He recused himself, but I'm just saying in pidgin that I'm not doing. My hands are clean. For whatever sentiment, it might be because they, when you chop together, you die together kind of thing. He says he's not going to do going forward, and so they disrupted the whole sitting. Arguments started, and they're now debating back and forth. Now 2 families are saying, because one family compound represented this king that is facing conviction, it's our turn. Just write governor that we should present a new king, and so the princes have been going back and forth. I think, and the commissioner for chieftaincy matters in Osun is still saying you have not seen CTCO. They have not told me that there's a conviction. I have not seen it, and so he is on his own path, refusing to do the needful. There's this chaos now in Ikpetumodu, but we're watching. We'll know what will be done finally.
Nima is watching.
Okay, so the Ataseman Circuit Court sitting in Ghana has sentenced 3 Nigerians, Francis Friday, Linus Akwazi, and Russell Ekenze, to a combined jail term of 96 years for their involvement in car theft within the Kumasi metropolis of the country. Yes. So this is coming amidst the recent protests by Ghanaians over the involvement of Nigerians within the country in alleged criminal activities. They were taken to court on the 22nd of July 2025, and one of them actually pleaded guilty, and he was sentenced to and the other ones that did not plead guilty were now sentenced to 8 years each. But then they were also charged on the 23rd of July with subsequent with additional charges, and they were now, which resulted in 20 years sentence each, and it was said that it will run concurrently. Yes, I'm sure this was what resulted to the, when you added
those protests.
Yes, to the 96 and the protests. But then something caught my attention in this story, that in May, because they've been saying that some Nigerians have been reported to commit a lot of crimes now in Ghana in recent times. So they say in May, a Takwa Circuit Court sentenced a 32-year-old Nigerian woman, Patience Gold, to a 20 years in prison for trafficking 4 young women, including one living with HIV, for forced prostitution. They also said that also in July, 50 Nigerians were arrested by the Ghanaian Immigration Service for alleged involvement in cyber fraud and human trafficking. What's going on? The suspects and the landlord of the property where the arrest took place were apprehended during a coordinated security operation at the Mikati Hills in the Gas South municipality of Accra. So they've been saying that Nigerians are, with all this arrest and everything, that they are seeing the rise of crime, and it's being caused by Nigerians. Niger, please now.
Anyway, moving on to the Daily Sun. A major headline: Northern elders recommend dialogue with bandits. INEC raises fresh alarm over poor state of facilities at PU's collation centers. Tinubu okays off-grid solar power initiative for healthcare facilities nationwide. CBN projects $1 billion diaspora reserve by 2026, commends banks. PDP condemns move to stall Akpoti Uduaghan's Senate resumption. We also have presidency, Obi LP clash over rising loans and debts. Federal government not over borrowing, says Dare. And finally, Dangote refinery, Nupeng Pengasin settle rift. And we've taken that.
Yeah, so the major headline there, the Northern Elders Progressive Group has called on governors in the Northwest region to cooperate with the Office of the National Security Advisor, that's the NSA, and other security agencies in pursuing dialogue with bandits as means of ending the cycle of violence. Speaking in Kaduna yesterday, the coordinator Yusuf Abubakar said the group was encouraged by efforts of the NSA, Malam Nuhu Ribadu, and other stakeholders currently exploring non-kinetic measures to restore peace in the Northwest. He says, we're happy with steps being taken so far. Traveling recently from Sokoto to Gusau and from Funtua to Zaria, I observed a more peaceful atmosphere compared to before. There is improvement in security, in patrols, in the safety of commuters along the road. He urged governors to embrace dialogue as a better alternative to condolence visits and repeated military operations that overstretch our security forces. He says, and I quote, "It is better for a governor to spend his resources on saving lives than spending billions on condolence. One life is far more important than any political gestures." He was also responding to critics who had argued against the negotiations, saying that dialogue is not, like the way to go. But he says that it's been tested in other countries as well. There are other big countries that even dialogue with the terrorists or the bandits in their nation, that negotiation is not weakness, it's just about saving lives. Yes.
So the president, while attending the national stakeholders dialogue on power in the health sector, he was represented by the secretary to the government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, and he talked about why the deplorable power situation in our public institutions, particularly tertiary hospitals, primary and public health institutions across the country, saying that this has to be, addressed, and that now they're looking at, several measures to tackle it, including expanding off-grid solar and hybrid systems, incentivizing private sector partnership and of course promoting public-private partnerships to solve the problem. And they're looking at investors coming in and upscaling this issue within the public health institutions and tertiary institutions. So we're looking at investors coming in to provide solutions in that area, and there is the welcome one.
Okay. So the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has condemned alleged attempts by the National Assembly to bar the senator representing Kogi Central Senatorial District, Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, from resuming at the Senate after her 6-month suspension. There was a letter yesterday from the acting clerk to the National Assembly, Dr. Yahaya Danzaria, where Natasha was informed that her suspension was still active and that it was tied to a pending case, which is at the Court of Appeal, and that no administrative action will be taken until the Court of Appeal delivers its action, so she can't resume office. But the PDP noted that the attempt to use the National Assembly establishment against an elected senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is gross violation of the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, and the standing rules of the Senate is highly provocative and constitutes a clear and present danger to democracy and the overall stability of the country. He also says that it comes as part of the antics being deployed severally by the APC-controlled Senate and the federal government to suffocate the opposition, which further confirms the creeping totalitarianism in our country under the APC government. So this is something that I think lawyers and this is good. This is opening a whole new can of worms.
Yeah, we discussed this yesterday.
Yes. So yeah.
Let's go to the next paper, the Nigerian Tribune. Suspension, Senate Natasha in fresh drama. Amaka just took that. We won't tolerate power supply crisis in tertiary hospitals. We've done that as well. FIRS, EFCC strengthen alliance to enforce voluntary tax compliance. Experts blame low CNG penetration on high infrastructure costs, insufficient stations and others. On the health part, we have heart attacks may be triggered by infections. Northern elders urge governors to negotiate with bandits. Done that as well. No plan for immediate implementation of 5% fuel tax. And Dangote Nupeng reach agreement, strike called off. But unfortunately, we've run out of time. So we'll go on a short break. And when we come back, we have a special feature from Debbie's Salon. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thank you for staying with us. Now, joining us on the show is the producer of Debbie's Salon, Debbie Odutayo. Also, we have the director of Debbie's Salon, Yinka Oguns. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, people. So we have the director.
Okay, this is the writer,
I'm the head writer
writer
for the show.
and I'm
And
an
he's
actor
one
on
of the
the
lead
show.
cast, yeah.
Okay. So sorry about that. Please, could you just help introduce yourselves again?
Okay. Hi everyone, good morning. My name is Adora, Sandra Adora. I'm a writer producer for film and TV. I'm the head writer on the show Debbie's Salon, produced by Madam Debbie Odutayo for Royal Roots TV. Yeah.
You're welcome. And your
My name is Onyeka Fiaka. I am an actor and a Nigerian. and I am one of the lead cast for Debbie's Salon in the series.
You're welcome. But okay, I think the first obvious question is, who is Debbie and what is Debbie's Salon about?
Okay. Do you want to go? You want me to go? Okay.
Anybody can go.
Ladies first.
Okay, so Debbie's Salon is a daily TV show. It's going to start airing on African Magic on October 13. African Magic Family, that's channel 154. And it is produced by, like I said earlier on, Mrs. Debbie Odutayo. So Debbie's Salon is a comedy drama, mostly set in the salon, but we also have other locations, like we have the Jam Blessing, we have their houses. So it's basically like a salon drama with a touch of like family drama, and it's like I think it's for everyone. It's for all ages and all demography, everyone,
Okay, so let me ask you again before we come to the actor in the house. What informed the choice of story? Why did you choose to write a story you know, that has to do with people working in a certain place?
Okay, so I would give the credit for the choice of story to the production house,
Okay.
which Royal Roots, and to the producer, Madam Debbie Udutayo. I think I came in on the project after they had conceptualized the story.
Okay.
So basically, we just worked on developing the story and making it into a script so that it will end up on screen.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So we've been seeing, you know, your billboards around town. Yeah. Amazing. Congratulations on that.
Thank
And
you.
then it has written on it that once upon a salon in Lekki.
Yes.
So where exactly in Lekki? Yes, where exactly is this salon? Lekki said we can locate it. So in case we passed it, you can say, I know this is where it's happening.
Okay. I just want to throw a little light on what she said before I come into what you say. Why a salon? If you want to hear premium gist, salon is the headquarters.
Yes. That's where you get the tea.
If you want to hear anything happening, as a matter of fact, if you want to know that your father is not your father, you actually can hear it in the salon. So I think with that, it can give a picture of Nigeria. You can see reflections, you can hear about Nigeria. Then it's not just comedy, there's drama.
Okay.
So, the idea behind it is that it is going to continuously run from Monday to Fridays, every
Back to back.
day, from 9 p.m. in the evening. So after your hard day, come home, relax to some drama and comedy, touching something that you just might see yourself and say, I think this is me. So if you want to look for Debbie's Salon, just look around. Look around.
Every
Anywhere
salon.
there's a salon, peep in.
That's a
You will
Debbie's.
see Debbie's Salon in there. You will see Debbie's
Debbie there.
staff in there. Yes, one or two things must remind you about Debbie's Salon. Yes.
So I know you're one of the actors in this movie and
It's a serious story.
series. Pardon me. So in this series, and I'm sure that there are more actors these days. People use A-list. What are the lineup of actors you say we should look forward to seeing?
Okay, now I really don't go by this A list or B list. It is a divide because after A, the next list is Z. Yes. So Debbie's Salon does not have A list, does not have Z list. It has the other
A list.
alphabets. So you list people. So we have people who have not acted before
Okay.
that you'll be seeing for the first time.
Which is
Then we
good.
have some persons who you in quote
No.
your A list, like you say. They are still just a sprinkle of them, just to put some salt into this soup.
Just
make
all
it
well-known
go.
faces.
Then you have some people you see and you are like, you know, where 2 or 3 are gathered, like 1 or 2 persons know them. I say, I think I know this person. So which means everybody you want to watch out for them. And
Did you
that
just
gives-
change the scriptures?
Okay.
So everybody you want to watch out, you are like, and I've not seen this boy before, I've not seen this girl before, and she's doing this much. Because when you give this A list, it rubs off on the creativity and the work done. You are like,
Totally agree.
is it not Rapsi? Noah? We pull it off. I know where we go. It will end up as a lover boy. And you are like, look, I've not seen this. Okay, well, let me see where this person is going. Now let me see.
But it's also marketing
Yeah.
for most of producers. They use them, you know, you bring them because you get people to watch.
Yeah,
You
that
know,
should
so it's
end.
really-
Okay,
That
talking
should end.
about whether A list, B list, C list, but you know, given the storyline, it seems like you have lots of young people on set,
Yes.
Gen Zs.
Yes.
Yes.
You work with Gen Z,
Yes.
so
Yes,
how
a
was
lot.
it working with this group of people?
Okay, I'll allow him answer because he was.
They asked this question yesterday, and I'm trying. So I told them, like I said yesterday, I'm also a Gen Z.
With great beard.
He says, a man thinketh in his heart.
So he is. I agree, my
Rema.
brother.
That is in the mind.
You know, so we spent 6 months together.
Wow.
So definitely, if I didn't like you the first day, from the second day, we must have quarreled. The third day we would have settled. And there are some persons you liked the first day, and from the second day, you are not the way I think. So so it's a mixture of it. So everyone is trying to accommodate everyone.
Yeah.
And now even you that say you are Gen X, I be Gen Y. At the end of the day, even the Gen Zs are tired of you because there are some things you do that if you actually put it on a scale, you would tell yourself that maybe it's not right and all that. So it's more like a little to the right, a little to the left. We're all cancelling each other and we're taking corrections and we're just pushing the boat.
That's amazing. So is there any plan for a sneak peek premiere before it goes on television? Do you have any plans like that to have like a preview?
Okay, so sorry, our billboards are everywhere. The promos are also going to run on platforms and TVs. We have jingles on the radio. So okay, those are those are not sneak peeks. Okay, so we have a premiere on the 12th.
Okay.
But it's for
A-list.
no list.
So
So it is not for any list. That is why it is not.
It's a private event.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but
So we are not invited.
you just might.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Do you have?
yeah, so I wanted to ask the writer like that. As a writer, you know, on this series, what's it been like? What has been your experience? And you know, you say something's going to run. So with subsequent series, what do you think, and what inspires you in terms of writing the series?
Okay, so I think as a writer on this project, I have really enjoyed the project. It's one of the few projects I have enjoyed, you know, in the past year. The production has a lot of respect for the writers. The writing process is like really sacred compared to what we have around, you know. So we're usually like we go into workshops. We're taken to like a secluded, exclusive location. Fed well, treated well.
That's good.
Yeah, about sometimes 7, 8 of us, you know, where we plot the stories, we come up with the ideas, and we have a story consultant, Mr. Yinka Ogun, who also like guides the entire process. And then, so when we're done with the workshops, we usually go into writing the scripts, and then we submit them to production. Usually, production makes a lot of useful input into the scripts, and then, yeah, going forward, I think the plan for writing is to observe the feedback from the audience and see what they like before we go into our next workshop for the next batch. Yeah.
So let me stay with you. I've seen a lot of Salon series,
Yes.
you know, and comedy ones. And so I would like to know, what's the thing to look forward to in yours? Are you going to be addressing anything particularly? Let me put words in your mouth. With your series, and what should viewers expect when they look at each of your series, each episode?
Okay. So, luckily, we have treated a lot of social issues in the episodes. I think we've written up to 80 episodes. And and we've treated a lot of social issues. We hope that those issues will spark conversations online by God's grace. So I can't say, oh, this, but there are lots of social issues we've treated. I think at some point we also handled some psychological issues in some few episodes. So yeah, but generally it's funny, it's entertaining, and it's very, very educative. So yeah.
Well done.
Thank you. So I just want to ask if, on the writer again, before I come to you, sometimes in the movies we see writers get really upset because what they wrote is not what they see on screen. Have you had any of those episodes yet?
So
you feel
like I said, the production respects the writers a lot.
Okay.
So we were involved from the casting down to every single. So
amazing.
yeah, we don't have.
So you had a very good
such
working
issues.
condition.
Yeah, we
with
had.
it.
Yeah.
But could you also now remind us for viewers, screening times, where we should be watching this, please?
Yeah, so it's going to be airing on African Magic Family, channel 154.
Okay.
From Mondays to Fridays, 9 p.m. every evening.
All right. All
Well
right.
done, well done.
Thank you
Looking
so
forward
very
to it.
much for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
And to our viewers, thank you very much. We'll be going on a really short break, and when we'll come back, we'll continue with our hot topics. Thank you for staying with us. So, over the weekend, billionaire businessman Femi Otedola set social media ablaze when he advised his daughter on the principle of submission in marriage. His words reignited a heated debate. Is submission a timeless marital value or simply a tool of patriarchy? The internet quickly split in two. Some praised him for upholding African culture and scriptural truth, while others dismissed his advice as outdated, patriarchal, and even dangerous in a world that now celebrates equality. So this morning, we're asking, in 2025, is submission still relevant in marriage, or is it time to rewrite the script? What are your thoughts? And as you know, we'd like for you to join this conversation on 020-163-52013 or 090-241-63440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect using the hashtag YourViewTVC. Ladies, the Femi Otedola, Tebi Otedola Ajibade story again. I know we had discussed previously we had discussed her changing her name, but this is another thing that also sent, the internet abuzz, as we say, and it is her father's advice to her. Let me see if I can remember, not word for word, not verbatim, but he said something like, he was talking to her, he says, he is now your husband and you must submit to his whims and caprices, is the word that he used. And he says, no more daddy again, I'm giving you over. Some people are like, hey, good man, African man, traditional, he knows the importance of, submission, and he has told her in front of everybody. And then some people are like, no, why would he say that? Why would he say that to his daughter? This is dangerous to say that to her, and especially in 2025, when we've seen how people have misused these words to cause all sorts of problems for their wives. So, ladies, I would really like to hear your opinion. Did he do right or did he do wrong? Or is he somewhere in between? Who would like to go first?
Somebody hosted, because he's a Yoruba man, so let me just talk what I know from tradition. So somebody hosted his daughter's wedding and spoke to his daughter from a place of security, because he's the billionaire. Who is going to abuse his daughter?
They're not born the person.
If like say your head is dangle.
They're not
So people take it verbatim because of wherever they are at the time of the interpretation. But you're talking, even easy God knows saying mistake and easy.
Honestly.
Where he did now?
I like that, right?
So he's not married to someone who is not secure. He's not married to an insecure family. This is not somebody that is waiting for the in-law to come and do their chair or do their painting before they do the wedding. This is somebody that is when they were talking to her, he knows what he's saying. He's saying, focus more on your own units now, your own branch of the tree. Do well, that's what basically he's saying. Build with your husband. Start your branch well with your husband, because it will be tough to be looking back. I'm a daddy's girl. It can be tough.
Okay.
When you're looking back and, with time and everything that trials can bring, you'll be catching up with a lot of struggle. So start quick. And that's a father talking to his daughter. It's not one father that is saying to her, hey, can you tell him that your brother's school fees is due? That's not where they're coming from. And so people will take it from a lot of places of confusion.
So we'll take it from where we are. Everybody.
So my own dad told me, where is that your degree, that your law degree? Put it here. Go home and build with your husband. But it wasn't easy for me. I was like, and the very first week I don't start to do strong head, because he knows his daughter. Most of the time when they talk as the parent who raised you.
Yeah.
They know your temperament, everything. They're not talking about one societal confusion of who is strong gender, who is the abused gender.
Okay.
There are no abuses here. And if you check, this girl, whether married or not, is well provided for.
Yeah.
So it's just
the way we describe it is like billionaires will not have problem.
No.
If it's like all problems in marriages is just about money, and if money is there, then there's no issue.
So disempowerment is why there are most problems from the woman's angle in marriages. An empowered woman who comes into marriage, the first thing the man wants to do, if he's not a complete wholesome person, is to first of all disempower that thing you're looking at. So some men will say, even that your father, I don't want you to say, I want to count how many times he comes in.
Okay.
For you to come from a place where that is guy and your husband is even deferring to on your matter to how with respect to your dad is rare. It's something that most men will first of all break everything that gives her that confidence, and so that she can submit. But a woman that is already full, and you accept her, you love her confidence, that's not the conversation. So money and all of those things is not what I'm looking at. It's that she's being well empowered. She's a woman who knows herself, her worth before she comes in. And she's let's not forget, he's had the opportunity of mentoring this man for years while they were dating. I don't follow her page. I was following his page on Twitter and seeing pictures of when he wished him a happy birthday and all of that. I think it was even at the 60th that he did, where he bought took them on a cruise.
Yes.
And you know, so he's had the opportunity of watching him closely. This is not somebody, he's giving somebody to a husband and be saying, hey, my daughter, and you'll be crying at the wedding. Did you say anybody shed tears? You know,
please don't come for those people that used to cry at the wedding. Don't even try that.
Please, your initial thoughts.
So we all have brothers, sisters, cousins, aunties, uncles. We've attended weddings, right? In Nigeria, we're big on weddings, whether in a small way or in a big way. And we always hear one thing at the end of the weddings. This speech by parents, African parents, telling the woman to submit to your husband. This is your home. It is just a thing in Africa, in Nigeria, where you most of the time they say, okay, the man will don't beat our wife, our daughter, will take care of our daughter. But most of the time, 99% of the time, what they are saying to the girl child is, you know, submit to your husband. So it's a norm in our culture. But I think where people have a problem with is the word he used when he says submit to his whims
and caprices.
So it's not just about submitting, because I don't think people have a problem with that. Is when the statement people had a problem with when he said submitting to his whims and caprices. That is loaded.
Okay.
Especially in Africa, where it is taken that most married men have a bit of irresponsibility in terms of maybe cheating, doing a lot of certain things, being irresponsible. Telling a woman that you need to submit to a man's every whims and caprices is a dangerous thing to say. So I think that's where the argument is coming from. But after he said that, he now ended the comment by saying, no longer dad you. So it made me understand what he was trying to say, put it in perspective more, that, don't come to dad you, submit to your husband. But what people are taking out.
Yes, because to be fair, whims and caprices means, you know, unpredictable behavior, irrational behavior. But as we know, this is Nigeria. English people will say one thing, we interpret it differently. As you said, you know, it didn't mean just an irrational behavior, but just that he's in charge. I would like to take BC next, but let's go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll hear BC's first thoughts. Thank you for staying with us. BC, you were going to give us your thoughts.
So I had to quickly ask to be sure. Is he a Christian? He's a Christian because I wanted to refer to the scriptures. Genesis 3:16 says, your desires shall be for your husband. We know as a result of the fall, and then when God had to now share the punishment to both Adam and Eve, one of the things he said was that you, Eve, your desires shall be for your husband. And also we remember the part of submission that was said in the Bible. So I do not particularly see anything wrong in submission in marriage, because I have always believed that two captains cannot run a boat or a ship. One person would have to be in charge, the other person would have to support for a marriage to work well, and two of you must be in sync. It's also, like you rightly mentioned, advice that parents give to their children when they are getting married. There's nothing wrong in saying that your desire shall be for your husband. You are entering a new terrain. This is no longer daddy and mommy and family. We've seen people who could not cope in their marriages because they came from a very good home where everything was working out, and any little stress they have, they are running home. They are packing their bags and they are going home. They want to go and meet mommy to give advice, or they want to go and talk to their father and all of that. And he is saying that you will submit to his whims and caprices. This is now your territory. You can find a way. See, all these things are not difficult. You can find the key and even hold him inside the whims and caprices and run your home. So it's not out of place for him to give that advice. However, I would have preferred that if he had to give the advice publicly, he will also advise the man at the same time. So you know how we balance it. The scripture says, submit to your husband, and also commands husbands, love your wife. So you balance the two. But if you had to talk to your daughter alone, separately, that's the sort of conversation that you say, hey, now you're getting married though. You have to listen to your husband. You have to agree with him. If he says, don't do this, you have to learn how to. There are skills that women learn that you think it's the man that's actually in charge of the home. But it's the woman that's running things and controlling things. She has just found the key. She has known how to touch his mumu button, and she's having her way. And you see her quiet, smiling, even when he's shouting, and you think, this man is definitely maltreating this woman. Meanwhile, the woman has the power. That is the skill that we learn as women. We are born with it naturally. We have to improve on it to be able to have our way most of the time. If you go back into history, you see that many of the kings that will come out and make decrees and everything, there's one, either it's the wife that has the power or one mistress somewhere that is twisting the thing. They will come and give you conversation. This country and this country. Are you sure?
So that mistress that you talked about, I think is going to be the problem.
No, I'm just giving an example of the power of a woman.
No, I get you.
Yes.
I get you.
Yeah.
And I was just going to say, and maybe that's why people have a thing about these whims and caprices, which could include having mistresses outside. So if madam is in the house and husband's whims and caprices means there's a side chick, how does she coordinate that, you know? So that is why I feel that some people are saying the wording should have been done a bit differently, because whims and caprices include so many things.
I'll take it from the problem of the rich man that you had asked.
Yes.
So we think that rich men don't have their own problems, but one of the problems he has is glaring.
Okay.
Yes. So one of the things you'd see young men, maybe credible, respectful, worthy young men do is that they will be intimidated because of the level of, wealth and achievements of her father. Her sisters have been through the news with their relationships and all of that.
Okay.
And all of that might intimidate a young, worthy man. But Mr. Easy was bold enough to date and love this girl through his eyes. You will see, there was perfect English. We were watching the videos, and my children were on the phone with their cousins in the US, and they were doing accents. I was like, you see big man, Dangote talk, you not get accent.
The father talk, there was no accent.
The father talk, you not get.
Talking about accent, I've got a call. Victor from Kaduna. Good morning, Victor. Victor, are you there? I think we may have lost him.
Okay,
Nima,
so
please continue.
I was like, you see, they're not focused on the frivolities.
Yeah.
They are more focused on important
Substance.
things. You will notice that the parents were careful in utterances around the families of their son-in-law.
Okay.
It wasn't oratory. The word, I think, for lack of a better word, while you're speaking, you might be good at your business, but you're not an orator. You don't have flowery words.
Yeah.
And so he was speaking. He cannot be picking and selecting the one that people would notice.
Yeah.
But for lack of a better word, is why that word would drop.
Yeah,
and when he says to his daughter, submit, he did not tell her, go and tie up on the chest. When daddy come, he said, daddy, wow.
No, but he said he's now your boss.
Yes.
Okay.
All of us, we marry bosses.
Before.
We thought this our sharp eye. We are married to our bosses. So you're constantly thinking, strategizing the best way. You don't just walk into the house because you're an educated woman
And do
come
anyhow.
and shout, they work.
All right, looks like Victor is back. Victor, good morning.
Yeah, a very good morning.
Go on, we can hear you.
Well, this is a very hot topic.
Okay.
And firstly, I am not married.
Okay.
So when it comes to topics like this, I don't want to do too much, say too much, because I am not in it. But this is what I think.
Please share.
You see, when it comes to the issue of marriage, especially for ladies, I think the emphasis should be that ladies should be very, very serious in choosing a man that they can easily respect and submit to. Yes. Because I don't think this institution of marriage can work with the basis of equality. So when I hear about equality, I think outside marriage,
It works.
that is where equality matters. Yes, we are not one, but we are equal outside marriage. But under the premise of marriage, we are one, but not equal.
Very equal. Sure.
So the whole emphasis should be the ladies should be very focused on choosing a man they can easily submit to and follow that person's lead. And for me as a man, sincerely, if I'm going to go for a wife, I will pick a woman that I will know how to tame. Because if as a man you are shouting, you are, saying, I'm the man of the house, something is wrong. Something is wrong. So I want to go for a woman that is self-regulated, a woman that I will not have to tame. Because that is where the problem comes from. And you see this thing, when they say that there can only be one captain on the ship. As a sailor, I am a sailor, so I understand that phrase very well. Because the captain wears 4 stripes. And it is not only the captain that wears 4 stripes on the ship. The chief engineer, I am also from the engineering department. The chief engineer of the ship also wears a uniform that has 4 stripes on his shoulder.
Okay.
Because the license must be the same, class 1, the education must be the same. Sometimes the chief engineer might even earn more than the captain.
Okay.
But they understand that someone must have the overriding power on that ship. Yes, I am an engineer and I know that. And it is by the basis of the department in school.
Thank you, Victor. That was very powerful analogy. For someone who is not married, you're really, I feel like
he's ready.
You're ready. You were saying.
No, I was done.
Okay. So before I go to you, Amaka, there's something he said. He says he does not see equality working in marriage. Equality can work anywhere else. Why is equality such a tough word in marriage? Does it mean that a man and a woman cannot exist if they see themselves as equals?
Okay, so like I agree to everything he says, apart from the use of the word when he came up with tame, because I don't know the word animal that we are taming. Yeah. So you see, if you notice, the problem that we are dealing with is choice of words. Everything he said is perfect, but when he lost me. Immediately he used the word tame. my brain just. That's, like that rebellious, like, what did he just, is it
well,
one
I've heard women say, my husband tamed me.
No, but what I'm trying to say is that, you can curse yourself, but let somebody else curse you that same curse. You get angry.
You think women should not be tamed?
No, nobody should be tamed. Nobody is, we're not
what I'm trying to say to you, Amaka, I'm saying, right, just so that I can add to your conversation, sorry to interrupt you, is that some people don't see the word tame as a negative.
That's not that, but what I'm trying to say is that, like you said, I can say, oh my God, I forgot something, I'm so stupid, I'm so dumb.
Yeah.
Right? But when you come up, Miriam, and say, Amaka, you're so stupid and dumb, I take offense.
Yeah.
It's easy to do that, to play down on certain things when it comes to yourself, as opposed to when somebody. So everything was saying was okay, but him using that word like marrying a woman that you can tame, it just doesn't sound nice. That's what I'm trying. There are other ways to relate that message without saying that. But I totally agree with everything I said. And why am I saying that? You see that some women marry men that they're better off in terms of career finances, and they respect and submit to those men because they believe in a dream.
Okay.
Yes, they believe in a dream. So it has nothing. So like what he said, a man might not have or might not be doing what he's supposed to do in a home. I find that the woman is supportive and carrying that and covering him and respecting him and submitting to him because she sees where he's headed.
Okay.
That he might not be here, but he's selling a dream to her.
So she respects him irrespective of his financial
status or anything, and she's willing and she's submitting and loving him because she believes in a dream, as opposed to a man that is not. Everything is how you package yourself in this life.
Okay.
Yes, how you package yourself will determine whether you get respect or you don't get respect. Yeah. That's the truth. There's how you come in as a man that maybe you don't have your acts together and you're just stumbling your way through at home. You're not responsible. You go out, drink and come back, and you want someone to submit and respect you. So for me, it's subjective in the sense of what is your experience within the family system and within that marriage system. What's your experience? Some women are going through abuse, some women are going through responsible men. It's difficult to submit to such men. But when a man is being responsible and doing what he's supposed and showing up, even if he doesn't have money is not an equation here. Like I said, it depends on the dream you're selling to your partner.
Yeah.
Right? That earns you respect.
Yeah. I would like to ask BC the stance on when he said marry someone that you respect or you can respect, but we've seen people move from respect to disrespect within the marriage. But before you do that, let's go on a short break. When we come back, we'll hear BC's stance. Thank you. Thank you for staying with us. And we're still discussing the place of submission in marriages in 2025. BC, I had asked earlier about the place of equality in a marriage and why it seems like such a sensitive word to use now.
To use in marriage. So I like how we pick words and sometimes forget context and sometimes apply context. So in this one, let's apply context. When we talk about equality in marriage, we're not saying that the wife is not a full human being. Some parts are missing.
Okay.
She's disadvantaged. She's less of a human being than the husband. That's not what we're saying. There are two heads coming together, you know, to chase 10,000. They are whole. They are healthy. They are good, right? But when it comes to an ability for veto power, one person would have to hold a mantle. It's like a kingdom. All the soldiers in the army may even have the same ability to go face the enemies, fight the war and everything. But one person will be a general, you know, to say, should we, even when everybody say, okay, let's do it like this, let's do it like that, one person should be able to stand and say, okay, we have decided, we have agreed, let us go this way. You know why? So that we can work together. Can two work together except they agree?
Of course.
If we do not have one person in a home who is able to hold veto power at the end of the day, you see that we are going in different ways. Your dreams are different, your visions are different, your plans are different. We're not working towards the whole family goal together. So we must have somebody, a representative of the family, who would have the final say when it matters the most. Many homes, women are the ones that take more of the decisions. My home, for instance, there are many things my husband doesn't bother about. I'm the one that takes the decision. Okay, is it this school they are going to? Is it this one? But there are some decisions I know that when we have an agreement, I have to wait for him to say, okay, which one? Which one are we going to do? And then we all present our cases. This is why I say we should do this. And he says, okay, this is why I say we should do that.
You're talking different.
Listen now. I'm talking about equality in marriage. Why we need one person to be the head. Because somebody must give veto power.
Now, body.
When the chips are down, you cannot have this decision and your wife has a different decision. Two of you are not working together. That's the meaning of somebody has to submit to the husband. Not
so
necessarily.
The equality is in
the ability.
So we respect each other.
Yes, we respect each other, but somebody at the end of the day should have veto power, right? Now, when we talk about submission in marriage, we are assuming that all things are equal, where the man is a reasonable person, the woman is a reasonable person, nobody is abusing anybody. But we have seen situations where, like Amaka rightly said, it is abused. You get into the relationship and they popo you back to back. They are beating you, they are abusing you financially, emotionally, physically, and all of that. At that point, wisdom is profitable to direct. They will not say because your father has said submit, you will not stay and be collecting 2 every 2 days and telling these people that you jammed door today, a table fell on you tomorrow. Yeah. You
now
move.
You move.
You know, it doesn't mean, no, let me it doesn't mean that assuming all things are equal, we should not advise that there should be submission. Yeah. But then you get into the home and you find that, this is not working out. Then you use your head.
Okay, I get that. But before you jump in, Sarah from Gombe. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning.
Good morning. Please go ahead. We can hear you.
Can you pick my call, please? Can you pick my call? I'm really tired of waiting.
Okay.
I am Vera Nkechi Obiano from Gombe.
We can hear you.
Vera.
Thank you, Vera. We can hear you.
Nkechi, not Sarah. Nkechi.
Okay. If you can, you're live. You can go on. Please, you can give us your opinion on the topic being discussed.
Well done. I really want to say something about. Okay. I want to say something about this topic.
Okay, sorry, we've lost Vera from Gombe.
So I was going to say, when we use this word loosely, there's equality in every marriage. Forget it. It's not about who's the boss, who's not boss. When they talk about head of family, that confusion has to be settled. Everybody is an adult. An individual in their marriage, including the children sometimes. You see where this deliberation happens, where you finally defer to someone. What BC was trying to explain, if you look at it from head, body, and you'll be thinking subjugation.
No.
An adult woman who respects you, even when they know, their intellect can tell, they will wait and say, I'd like to listen to the person I extremely respect, I'm in a lifetime journey with. But if a woman enters the marriage and the advice from the door is that pause your thinking, lose your sense and defer to this person, and the person not can't get sense, I want to be. Which is why when we teach equality, you teach it from a self-awareness point of view. For the young girl in question, you know yourself, you know who you are. The man who's dated or who's come to marry you come from a place where he already loves who you are. You don't have to be fake, pretend, anything else. When decision making comes, it comes from both sides of respect. You, on the other hand, being a woman, knows that life, you can choose for the peace of your home to defer in decision making. You see, when we use it in African context, where the confusion comes is that it will tell you who to be, how to be it, what to be it, such as if when you come, God gave you nothing of IQ or wisdom of yourself. So when we use it like that, why most people hearing it are hearing it from their own lenses. They're saying it from what life has dealt with them. And they can't see it any different, depending on what everybody has seen. We are willingly saying we submit. If they give you steady basketballs,
we'll be rounding up soon.
I want to weigh in because, like what BC, the Bible scripture that she said, like, can two work together except they agree, right? Yes. You see, in that nothing in that scripture said that one is up and another one is down. Why am I saying that? I believe that I believe that a good partnership works when we both know our strengths and our weaknesses. That is just being smart. And I feel like that some men, they know that maybe they are not very good at decision making, or they're not certain, and then they pray and they marry a woman that they know. When you're with somebody, you know who has what strength, especially a man that doesn't feel, that knows who he is, and is not trying to drag anything.
So he's not an insecure person.
He's not an insecure person. And so you both know who has the strength and who has the weakness in this marriage or in this partnership. And then if I'm a man and then I know that my wife makes better decisions.
Thank you.
Maybe financial decisions.
But financial decisions, or decisions about our home, or decisions about even running my life, why would I not give it to her? It's just common sense.
And vice versa.
Because we're both working towards the same goal. Wisdom. And we want to. It's just wisdom.
Yeah. Thank you, ladies, for this conversation. Sorry, we have to go on a break. But yes, but just to round up for me is that I would like us to look at his message to his daughter. You know, in context. He first described the man she's marrying as a great guy, a very great guy. He also says, this is someone I see that you are in love, you are both in love. So given this recipe of a man, please submit to him. So for me, that's how I see it. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, we'll go on to our next segment.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thank you for staying with us. So today on Let's Talk, we have the singular honor of celebrating a living legend of faith, service and leadership. We are joined by His Most Eminence, Engineer Joseph Adenike JP, fondly known as Bernardine, the Baba Aladura of the Morning Star Church worldwide. At 94 years of age, His Eminence stands as a shining example of grace, wisdom and resilience. A trained civil engineer who once served with distinction at the Federal Ministry of Works, he has combined professional excellence with deep spiritual devotion and philanthropy. He's not only the oldest serving Baba Aladura in the Cherubim and Seraphim order, but also a direct link to history, having had personal contact with Saint Moses Orimo Alade Tunolashe, the revered founder of the Cherubim and Seraphim Church, Nigeria's first indigenous church and revival movement, established in 1925. As the church marks a glorious centenary, 100 years of Seraphim worldwide, this is more than a celebration of faith. This is a landmark national and international event, a testament to Nigeria's contribution to the spread of Christianity and a beacon of peace, unity and revival. It is therefore with great joy and reverence that we welcome His Most Eminence, Baba Aladura Joseph Adenike JP. Please, ladies, join me in welcoming you to the show. You're welcome to our shows. We have the distinct honor of welcoming you as the first oldest man to ever grace our table. And was so honored to have you. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So to begin, Your Eminence, you are 94 years old.
Yes,
and you're in active service, you know.
Yes.
Could you, to begin, just let us know how faith and discipline and resilience has sustained you through the decades?
Well, God will bless every one of us.
Amen.
First and foremost, I greet all those who are privileged to see me now, both in Nigeria and overseas countries. What we are doing at the moment has been ordained ever before we were born. And ask me to answer your question. Everything we do, everything we think, everything we imagine is controlled from somewhere, from the powerhouse. And that powerhouse is Jesus the Christ. He is the only one who has been doing it for us.
Got an honor.
I really don't know how to start my question, because I was, inducted into Cherubim and Seraphim when I was very young. My grandmother was a member of the church, active participant of the church, and I was in the choir at very little. And I know how spiritual the church is. I know how the services carry. That was my first introduction to Christianity. And you are celebrating 100 years of Cherubim and Seraphim. How has it been over the years? Has it changed in any way? Okay, let me allow you to answer that here.
Quite exactly. It has changed in every way, both spiritual, both material, and let me say, both scientifically. Let me call it that way. And to begin to analyze that, it will take a lot of time.
Okay.
Yeah. Number one, when the order started in a small place like this, very small, and now it is all over the world.
Yes.
Then we can say, why has it been like that? Who is behind it? Is it a man or a woman, a spirit? Who is behind? And the only person behind is our Lord Jesus the Christ.
Okay, sir. We are honored because you have the only direct link with the founder of the Cherubim and Seraphim movement in Nigeria, and it's 100 years. Are there any activity that is let me not use the word, part of this anniversary that you're doing? Are there any activities that would bring to bear that link that you have with the founder?
And that is the link we are doing right from here. We are doing that link right from here.
Yeah.
Because those who will listen to me or will hear me, maybe they will be able to understand. The link has been on, and it continues to be on. But only thing we can do is to improve the link.
Okay.
And make the link stronger and not to break. That should be the preoccupation of all those who wear this white.
Yes.
In anywhere.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how do we maintain this link? What are the lessons that we need to learn to make sure that this link is maintained, even to the generations to come?
I can answer you, and I will tell you that when Christ himself died, the Christianity was expanding. So also this holy order. If we only adhere to what our elders taught us, we have no problem. Heaven is the limit.
Heaven is the limit.
Yes. So His Most Eminent, I'm still in awe of your strength, your energy when you walked in here. Like, this is amazing. How do you feel celebrating this 100 years, being here today?
How do you feel?
Well, it is very exciting. Very, very exciting indeed. And I thank God very immensely for granting me the grace to witness the first centenary activities of the Holy Order. The Holy Order is only 6 years older than myself.
Yeah.
Because at the time the order was named, I was about 6 years. I was 6 years to come into this life. And I thank God that for the past 60 to 70 years, I have been in the order. Therefore, I can say little things about the order. If we are honest, let me start from there. If we are honest to ourselves, if we are faithful to ourselves, then we'll be honest with God, we'll be honest with others, and we'll be faithful to everybody. And once we're able to do all these things, well, I do believe that the result will be very, very interesting.
Yeah. So let me take you down memory lane a bit. Let's see how we can work that. You know, when you started, you also started as an engineer. You know, this was your professional life. Yeah. How did you combine that and then with the journey of faith? Because there are some people, young generations, they're looking to, you know, the leaders and wondering, here I am today in my professional life. Is there still space for me to do both, to ever be able to give to God fully when I still have my, you know, professional career to handle, maybe family issues to also handle? What lessons can you share with us?
Thank you. That is a very big question. I've said before in one of your studios that everything we do under the sun is by grace. And I thank God that I can say He has given me the grace to serve Him. When I joined this Holy Order, I was still, let me say, I won't say I was not an engineer, but I became an engineer after I've spent so many years in this Holy Order.
Okay.
But one thing is this. During my career, I do one thing, and the only one thing I do is do what is right. Where I worked, all those that worked with me, they can never forget me. Because I will give them their right. I maintain their right for them, and what they are entitled to, I will let them have it, not minding the cost. If we, the new generation engineers, if they can follow that step, this country will be better than how it is now. I was coming from First Tack this morning, doing all the roads. First Tack that used to be a place like London before. Look at it now. It's just a write-off. Who are responsible? Somebody is responsible. Nigerians are responsible, not NJSO. Nigerians are responsible because the engineers fail to do this work, the clerk failed to do this work, the chairman failed to do this work, the councillors failed to do this work, and so on. If all of us can be ready to do what is good all the time, this country will be a different place.
Yes,
and that is the only thing that has helped me to now. To be truthful, to be honest, and to be faithful to yourself and to others and to God.
Thank you so much, sir. His Most Eminent Baba Aladura Joseph Adenike, JP, also known as Bernardine. Thank you, sir, for joining us today, for sharing your incredible journey, your wisdom and blessing with us today. For our viewers, thank you for staying with us today. We will see you tomorrow.